On January 1st, 1950, 75 years ago, two school systems united with one dream: to educate every child, every family, every future. From that dream, the Muscogee County School District was born, Georgia's first consolidated district. Bold, visionary, unifying, a model that would change education across Georgia forever. From the first in the state of Georgia to offer kindergarten classes in 1953 to the founding of Columbus College, from integration to innovation, from new school buildings to reaching new heights, Muscogee County has always risen to the challenge. Few communities can say their school district stretches beyond classrooms. In Muscogee County, education means more than schools, it means culture. The Chattahoochee Valley Library System and the Columbus Museum are a part of the Muscogee County School District, making learning not just a lesson in a book, but a living experience in art, history, and discovery. This visionary connection shows that from the very beginning, MCSD was committed to enriching the mind, inspiring the spirit, and serving the whole community. Strong leadership is the foundation of a strong school district. For generations, our Board of Education, superintendents, and community partners have stood united, turning vision into reality, building schools that inspire, and ensuring every choice reflects an unwavering commitment to excellence, equity, and opportunity for all. For 75 years, Muscogee County School District leaders have been pioneers, reshaping education, setting the standard for Georgia, and changing its future for the better. Through 6 successful SPLOST referendums, they have invested not just in buildings, technology, and safety initiatives, but in possibility, in opportunity, and in the limitless future of every child in Muscogee County. At the heart of our story are the people, the educators who inspire, the families who believe, the students who achieve, and the community that supports them. Together, we've created opportunities for over 7 decades, shaping not only students, but the future of Columbus, Georgia. Today, under the leadership of our Board of Education and Superintendent Dr. David Lewis, Muscogee County students are reaching all-time highs in graduation rates, SAT, ACT, and advanced placement performance. With innovation, equity, and excellence as our guide, we remain committed to equipping every child with the tools to succeed in a changing world. For 75 years, Muscogee County schools have been the cornerstone of opportunity, progress, and hope. Together, we celebrate our past, embrace our present, and build a future where every child can thrive. Muscogee County School District. Learning, leading, inspiring, together since 1950.
In the Muscogee County School District, creating we is more than words. It's our commitment. Together, educators, staff, parents, and our community unite with one purpose: to lift every student higher, to inspire every learner to succeed, and to build a stronger, united community where our shared commitment shapes tomorrow. For students, creating we means learning in an environment where they feel supported, connected, and inspired to reach their fullest potential.
Creating we means we're all in this together, helping each other succeed.
For staff, creating we means teamwork, collaboration, and knowing every effort helps shape the future of our students.
Here in the Muscogee County School District, when we say we, it means every educator is united for student success.
For our Board of Education, creating we means ensuring every decision reflects our collective commitment to excellence, equity, and opportunity for all.
Creating we means we get to inspire and equip all students to achieve unlimited potential.
For Superintendent Dr. David Lewis, creating we means leading with a vision that unites students, staff, families, and the community as one. It's about fostering a culture where MCSD shines as a beacon of educational excellence, where everyone is known, valued, and inspired.
As a parent, creating we means my child's success is everyone's success.
We are the Muscogee County School District. Creating we means celebrating the spirit of unity, where every voice matters and every action makes a difference.
In the heart of the city where dreams take flight, every student a star shining bright tonight. Known and valued, we rise as one. Our journey together has just begun. Creating we, a legacy, a place where all can truly see. Inspire, equip, achieve, believe. Unlimited potential will never leave. From every hall to the open skies, we carry the hope in our teachers' eyes. Beacon of light, excellence in view. A community strong, forever true. Creating we, a legacy, a place where all can truly see. Inspire.
Good evening and welcome to our September 15th regularly scheduled board meeting. I will call this meeting to order and we will begin with our inspiration today. Ms. Chambers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the inspiration today, I would like to read a poem that hopefully speaks to our why we're here today. And it's called The Power in the Room. We gather here not by chance, but by purpose. Each voice a spark, each idea a seed, each heart a light. A school is not just walls, it is the rhythm of footsteps, the laughter of children, the questions that push us higher. We are not simply meeting, we are building futures, building leaders, building hope. So let today remind us, we are dream shakers, we are change makers, and together we carry the power to transform lives. One child, one day, one dream at a time.
Thank you so very much. And next we will have our Pledge of Allegiance and our character word. Girl Scout Troops 1 is 50357, and each level has a different troop number. So if you want to identify your troop number, you can after the character word, but we'll first start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In Scouting, we embody diligence. Diligence means working hard in a steady and continuing manner, being industrious and sticking with a plan or a project.
Grit, the ability to keep working towards long-term goals despite setbacks or failures.
Perseverance, persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success.
Resilience, the capacity to successfully manage high levels of change. Tenacity, a quality that allows someone to continue trying and working even though it may be seem difficult.
Introduce yourselves and your school.
Hi, my name is Kayla Green and I go to Carver High School.
Hi, I'm Chloe Hunt and I go to Rothschild Middle School.
My name is Jelena Young and I go to Richards Middle School.
My name is Lyric Hall and I go to Britt David Magnet Academy.
My name is Aria Hull and I go.
Name of your school.
Britt David Magnet Academy.
Hello, my name is Azaria Stallings and I go to Black Mirror Middle School.
All right, thank you so very much. Good job. And the troop, one of the troop leaders, if you would.
Good evening. My name is Harmony St. Clair Hall, and I'm one of the troop leaders for all of these young ladies.
Thank you so very much. And I know we have other troop leaders. Are there any parents and supporters? If you would just stand and wave, including the troop leaders. Thank you so very much for all that you do. And next we will have a presentation for Red Ribbon Week kickoff. Ms. Kayla Green.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So I want to start off with school board members, Dr. Lewis and your team. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I am Kayla Green, a graduating senior at Carver High School. I am a lifelong Girl Scout working on my Girl Scout Gold Award, the highest honor in Scouting. The Girl Scouts' mission is to build girls up with courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place. Thank you for giving our troop an opportunity to participate in this meeting tonight to expand our Girl Scout mission and experience. I would like to acknowledge my sisters in Scouting and our dedicated troop leaders at a 4th Street Missionary Baptist Church. Community partnerships and collaborative efforts will achieve this mission with my Fentanyl Awareness and Prevention Gold Award Service Project. My lifelong work in Scouting has been different efforts of bringing society awareness and prevention of health issues that affect children in the community, paired with my passion for science and math, has been developed on my journey in Girl Scouts. Georgia, as well as Columbus, has not escaped the national epidemic of fentanyl and opioid overdose-related deaths. In fact, in 2021 to 2022, Columbus reached 23 deaths related to overdose of fentanyl and opioids. We want children and families to know that fate can be fatal when you take pills that do not come from your doctor or pharmacist. Law enforcement say that fentanyl on the streets is cheap and readily available because it is a synthetic and sold in many forms that could look like candy and fake prescriptions pills that are laced with it, just to name a few, that unfortunately come made up with lethal doses. Fentanyl awareness and prevention through education is an effort that we can all participate in, and I believe the best place to start is in schools during Red Ribbon Week through pre-K through 12th grade, and of course in the Muscogee County School District. This crisis is so huge that to fight it, it would take a change in culture as well as mindset. And I believe the first step towards that is through education starting in the early grades. With that said, I want to say thank you to you, Superintendent Dr. Davis Lewis, for designating one day during Red Ribbon Week to permanently highlight fentanyl awareness and prevention. He agrees that each year, Muscogee County School District will pause during Red Ribbon Week to bring awareness to the dangers of this drug. This commitment makes fentanyl awareness and prevention a sustainable project. This project will establish our school district as the leader, as well as the first school system in Georgia to be committed to combating this health issue by designating a day during Red Ribbon Week focusing on this deadly crisis that is impacting children as well as their families. In addition, I am working with my state legislator, Leader Carolyn Hughley, who has been sponsoring annual resolutions to designate a day for awareness and education. This next session, she will address designating a day during Georgia's statewide Red Ribbon Week as a permanent resolution to highlight and combat this crisis to keep all Georgia citizens safe. Lastly, a little background on my journey. I have been working on this project since 9th grade. The first year, I invited the Department of Public Health and Dr. Edwards from Morehouse School of Medicine to my school, where they did a presentation with the STEM Magnet students about the dangers and many forms of street fentanyl. And in 10th grade, I did a science project about the synthetic ingredients and dangerous and lethal dosage, an amount as small as the tip of the ink pen could be fatal, as well as included how advocating for local, state, and federal laws will address this health crisis. Last year in 11th grade, the support of counselors district-wide highlighted the dangers of fentanyl during Red Ribbon Week with my video that was created through an incredible collaboration of Carver as well as Shaw students and the teachers from both schools and Trilogy Productions. And we will continue to show that video. Also, last year during the legislative session, over 100 of my classmates and I sent emails to state representatives in support of Senate Bill 395 that passed and now allow K-12 schools in Georgia to keep overdose reversing drugs in the nurse station or clinic for students in need with no questions asked. Naturally, my senior project will compile and demonstrate all efforts and collaborations of combating this health crisis starting right here at home. Before I go, I must say thank you to you, school board members, Dr. Lewis, Dr. Nelson, my project coach, the print shop, my advisors, Ms. Karen Jones, Ms. Florine Dawkins, Ms. Kimberly Wright, Ms. McNeil for creating Sign Up Genius for our event, and Ms. Leek, my forever school counselor. My sponsors in advance, my troop leaders, Representative Hughley, Columbus Police Narcotics Division, and Muscogee County School Police. Dr. Edwards from Morehouse School of Medicine, Mr. Lockwood, Department of Public Health, and of course my mom, my dad, and my entire family. School board members, you and the entire community are all invited to our Fentanyl Awareness kickoff event for Red Ribbon Week. It is October 25th. It starts at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and is located at George Washington Carver High School Auditorium. Please invite all of your contacts and youth groups. And always, thank you for supporting Girl Scouts, and we will see you this fall with our delicious nuts and chocolate products, as well as cookie season in January. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, good job, Kayla Green.
Thank you.
And we appreciate the effort. Thank you for the Scouts again for coming out, and the troop leaders. We thank you so much, and we hope to see everyone October
25th at 11 a.m.
That's a Saturday. All right, thank you. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, I need a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by, come on that end, Ms. Buckner. Electronic vote, we're ready to vote now. Come up. Dr. Chambers is an affirmative. That's everybody. Thank you. And next, I do want to welcome to our meeting our partners, Mr. Alan Harkness from the library, Ms. Marianne Rickner from the museum. Any leadership team, assistant principals, raise your hand. Thank you for all that you do. And I know I saw Marquette McKnight from MEEF, and Andy Luker. And Ms. Moore, thank you so much for coming. And that's all of our visitors and all the rest of you. Thank you for coming out. And we have a presentation update on the attendance intervention. Dr. Nelson.
Good evening, everyone. Bring greetings to you from the great leadership of Mr. Patrick Knopf, the Chief of Student Services. Thank you to our wonderful school board members and Dr. David Lewis and our amazing team of chiefs before. I have the distinct pleasure of presenting some updates on our comprehensive attendance strategies and interventions. So tonight, I just want to briefly cover a few things here. Attendance definitions, understanding our data as it pertains to being chronically absent within our school district and across the state, some of the root causes of absenteeism, and of course, looking at our strategies and interventions and some proposed initiatives as we move forward and combating chronic absenteeism. So to give you a brief overview, there are three distinct areas that we focus on when it comes to attendance, and that's truancy, average daily attendance, as well as chronic absenteeism. Truancy in Georgia is defined as any child who is subject to the compulsory attendance law, and that's students between the ages of 6 and 16, who have missed more than 5 days of unexcused absences. That's without parent notes or doctor's notes, but unexcused. Average daily attendance is a school measure of the number of enrolled students who attend school each day divided by the total number of enrolled students. And chronic absenteeism is a focus that we're putting a lot of efforts in to address, but chronic absenteeism is also a school measure of the percentage of enrolled students who miss 10% or more school days for any reason. And that's students who are enrolled for the entire year. In a typical year, if a student is chronically absent and they miss 18 days or more, they're considered chronically absent. So with that 180 days being our school term. And I want to emphasize that chronically absent, we are addressing not just unexcused absences, but we're also looking at excused absences as well as out-of-school suspension. So whenever a student is not in a seat, it's considered absence, and if it's 10% or more, it could be chronically absent in the state of Georgia. Just to bring a couple of numbers, I wanted to bring some information in comparison to other districts that are similar in our size. We have some work to do. Our state chronically absent is 19.5%. Currently, Muscogee County School District, we are at 22.9. But if we focus in on the last 3 years, we started in 2023 at 26.3%. Last year, 2024, it was 25.8. This year is 22.9. We still have some work to do, but it's in comparison to other districts, we're on the right track. We have some things that we have in place I would like to share with you tonight, but our goal is to get that number, of course, below the state, which is 19.5, but more importantly, we would love to make sure that our students are in school, that we are addressing unexcused, excused, and out-of-school suspension so we can accomplish a 10%. That is our goal, 10%. So to discuss a couple of root causes, I won't go over the entire slide, but I do want to focus in on some of the misconceptions when it comes to absenteeism and being chronically absent. Absences are only a problem if they are unexcused. We understand that if a student, we always say, you can't teach an empty seat. So even if a student is excused with a parent note or a medical excuse, they are still not receiving direct instruction, which can create some problems for that student in terms of obtaining what they need in class. Missing 2 days per month doesn't affect learning. Yes, missing 1 day can actually have an impact on a student's learning. You lose track and underestimate total absences. So this year, we want to really focus in on making sure our parents, and we'll talk a little bit more about the early warning system, but making sure our parents understand their total absences, and not just the absences, but the number of instructional time that's missed. So if you're in 1 day, and if a student is in class for 7 hours, and you broke that down by minutes, that's a lot of lost instruction. So our emphasis is on not just the student being out, but what is the student losing? How are other students being impacted by that student being out? Because the teacher has to divert and spend time getting that student who's absent up to date on their instruction. So also, one of the things that attendance only matters in the older grades, that's not true. It starts in pre-K. So we want parents to understand that once they transition from pre-K to kindergarten, it's just as important. It's we're not daycare, a drop-in service, so we are serious about their education. Pre-K matters, pre-K through 12 matters. Attendance suspensions don't count as an absence. Yes, it counts as an absence, and so we're working with our schools on some interventions to do things in lieu of suspension. So just wanted to cover a few of the root causes and some of the misconceptions as it comes to absences. As I mentioned before, we are looking at a tiered approach as we address attendance. And this is something we've done for years, but we're going to really kind of drill down and take a more targeted approach to addressing attendance. A lot of the information you'll see tonight and things that we're doing comes from an organization that's a national organization called Attendance Works. We also have information from Hanover as well as Harvard Research Studies. But looking at the tiers of intervention, this is similar to that of instruction. We want to start with the foundational supports, and that's promoting positive conditions for learning. We have an amazing PBIS team at the district level as well as within our schools, but we're also working with our court and our legislators to ensure that attendance is addressed throughout. It's a collaborative, multidisciplinary approach. We also look at Tier 1 or universal interventions, and this is for all students. Those are students that have perfect attendance, students who have missed 2 days. We want to make sure that we put some efforts in place that address prevention. And then we move on to early intervention, and that's Tier 2. And within Tier 2, these are students who are missing 10 to 15% of school. And of course, as you see, as we get to more intensive intervention, and that's Tier 3, and that's those students who are missing 20% or more. So Tier 1 interventions that we currently have in place. Attendance letters, we have the chief judge who writes in our handbook every single year the importance of attendance, but also he highlights what are the consequences to a student not attending school, because truancy is it is a law. And so he addresses how it's important for students to attend school, and that letter is addressed to students and parents in our handbook. We also have attendance incentive programs. We want to ensure that we are highlighting our students who have perfect attendance. Oftentimes, if you're focusing so much on the students who are not there, we want to be careful we're not leaving those students who are there, and we're highlighting and appreciating the efforts that they're putting in, and their parents. School leadership and data team meetings for attendance to address attendance just across the board. We also have cohort team meetings with our regional graduation coaches for our middle and high school students. We each year, twice a year, we have an attendance clerk professional development day, and that's always in the month of September. And then the second one is always in second semester. And we do this to ensure that everyone is understanding the standard operating procedures as it comes to inputting information into our student information system, Infinite Campus. We have the up-to-date information as it comes to tracking students. And then we also have attendance annual principal agreement meetings, and that's when the counselors, the social workers, the grad coaches meet at the beginning of the year with the principal to talk about specific goals as it pertains to attendance. Parent notification letters. The district continuous improvement team meets once a month, and we also have the counselors conducting core curriculum lessons within the with all grade levels, pre-K through 12. And one of the things that we do as a part of Tier 1 is making sure that our parents are aware when a student is out. So if a student is not in school, those parents who've received that robocall to warn you, that is something we do district-wide for every grade level. So what are some of the impacts, academic effects of absenteeism? Well, as we know, that it does reduce academic achievement. And one of the things that chronic absenteeism, students don't have the exposure to direct instruction if they're not in school. Yes, a student can make up information, or they can take homework sheets or do things to make up work, but it's nothing like having the direct instruction from the teacher the first time. Also, it disrupts the classroom. And it's important that we understand in the classroom, especially in elementary school, it is regimented. The teachers have a plan. We have a blueprint, and teachers want to follow that structure. So if a student is constantly absent, the teacher must either stay after school or find time within the classroom, which takes away from the other students who have been in school. So we want to make sure we are addressing chronic absenteeism so that all students can learn equally. Increased dropout risk. We know that when students miss school, there is more of a likelihood that they may not complete their education. And that is something that is, we definitely want to pay attention to, because we want to make sure that we are creating lifelong learners, students who have the opportunity to have unlimited potentials towards post-secondary options. And of course, if you're not in school, you set up a trend, you set up a habit, and that can impact you in post-secondary, whatever your options are, whether it's work, and being enlisted in the military, or going into college. One of the events that we have twice a year, it's also working with our judicial system. Our goal in Muscogee County School District is not to immediately go to the consequence of court. We want to make sure we have some support, some wraparound supports for our families before we go to that level, which is intensive intervention. So we work closely with our judges, and each year by law, we are required to have a school attendance and school climate protocol meeting. And with this particular meeting, Dr. David Lewis, as well as many members of our community, we come together to address attendance. And we understand that it's all hands on deck. It's so important that each year they must sign a pledge to this that's stated For the law, every single district in the state of Georgia must have signed documents stating that everyone is on board and they understand the importance of attendance. And that's from the chief judge to our district attorney, our state solicitor, and of course our educators. Also wanted to highlight the Attendance Awareness Month. September is Attendance Awareness Month, but we want to stress that, yes, we have wonderful spirit activities that we're doing. This particular day was Tacky Day, and I started to come in tacky, but I didn't think it was quite appropriate for a school board meeting. So, but Tacky Day is one of those days, and it's just to try to get students to have school engagement, be interested in coming to school when you have fun things like this. So this week, we're doing it once every Monday for the entire month of September, but we also are having the training, and on September the 25th, it's going to be our protocol meeting. We would love to have you here. We're going to, at 12 o'clock in the school board room here. So Attendance Awareness Month is the month of September, but we want to stress that attendance awareness is, yes, we highlight September, but we must address attendance every single month to ensure that our students are getting the education that's needed for them to be successful. And then trickling down, we mentioned Tier 2. These are a few things that we're doing in Tier 2. I'll highlight a few of these. Community outreach and referrals. We have an amazing partnership with Enrichment Services, United Way, 211, Home for Good, DFACS, and helping our families to provide them with a continuum of care, wraparound services, because we understand that sometimes there are some barriers to education. So we make sure that we are linking them to the right community resources. Also, we provide group counseling services for our students, as well as just providing them with alarm clocks. Yes, our alarm clocks, and last year we started providing umbrellas because that was one of the things that parents say, we're not gonna walk in the rain if the student is a walker. So we've started, getting donations for umbrellas. And so it's been really helpful. We also have a weekend backpack program. We know that our students who are receiving free and reduced lunch, the weekend comes and they don't necessarily have that same level of nutrition. So we have some of our schools that are participating in the backpack, which every single weekend they get a backpack filled with food from Feeding the Valley. And they bring back the backpack on Monday and we start back over on Friday. And it's done in confidence and so that the students' integrity and privacy is maintained. We also, as I mentioned, out-of-school suspension is also a part of being chronically absent. So we are working with different organizations to provide restorative practices, restorative circles within our schools in lieu of suspensions. We also have check-in and check-out programs that we work with with students to make sure that they know that they're known and that we see them and we are happy when they do show up, and we make a big deal of them coming up and showing up for school. We also have moved away from in-school suspension to in-school intervention. So when the students are in school, they're still in school suspension, they're still receiving instruction, they are still receiving curriculum that's going to support them when they enter back into the classroom. Tier 3, again, these are more intensive. We've tried everything from Tier 1, from foundational to Tier 1, Tier 2, and we're now here at Tier 3. We have the Muscogee County Attendance Panel that was formed in 2015, and it's a group of community agencies that we meet once a month, every Wednesday, and it's 21 agencies that come to the table here at the district, and they hear cases from our school social workers. During that meeting, our goal, it's not a punitive setting. It is one that's of love and care, and we want to support them. Our goal is whatever you're bringing to the table as a barrier, you're leaving that day with a solution and a support. If for whatever reason those supports are not well received by the parent, or they choose not to receive those recommendations or supports, then we have to proceed on to the next level, and that's juvenile court for our older students. and which is a part of Children in Need of Services. And then we have municipal court petitions, and that's typically for our younger students, parents, because they can't get themselves to school. So the parents will go before the municipal judge. And then we have a truancy intervention program for elementary students. And this is a program that is sponsored by our court system. They are paired with a mentor, and the mentor is an attorney. It is, again, not punitive, but that mentor works directly with the court system to provide supports, but also to have a link to the court system to ensure that the parent is following whatever recommendations that the mentor is suggesting. The local interagency planning team, LIPT, is an organization that supports students who are having mental health challenges and who are missing schools. So they meet to discuss what supports they can put together to address mental health and so if it's a barrier to them coming to school. So it's a wonderful team, and it's a free service for our district. So a couple of things, the impact on learning. We know that it does impact our social emotional impact. We saw that during COVID when students were feeling isolated. It's difficult when you're not in school, you're not participating in after-school programs and engaging with your peers. It can have an impact on your developmental stage, depending on whether it's pre-K through 12th grade in terms of social isolation. And some of the things that our educators are really, our teachers are wonderful at doing, bringing students and creating unique ways to ensure that all students are learning, even the students who are missing days. But again, if that teacher is having to pull from their regular instruction time to help a student who's been out quite a bit, then it does take away from all students. So some of the, one of the things that we've talked about as far as the just initiatives that we have already in place, one of the things that we are working on is the early warning system. And this is it's a wonderful program that will assist not just the staff, but also the parents. So if a student, whether it's behavior, attendance, or academics, if there is a decline, a slip, if a student is absent and they've hit a target of getting close to being chronically absent, a parent is notified right away. And so it's just a matter of a parent being a part of the parent portal and turning on their notifications. They will receive information that's timely so that we can intervene. The staff will receive this information. We'll have a dashboard that helps to support the schools as well as the parents. We also have the hygiene repository that helps to assist our students who are not, may have issues with obtaining hygiene. And we want to respect their dignity and provide them, support in that area. So, because that can be a barrier to a student wanting to come to school if they don't have access to personal items that they need in order to be successful. We do also partner with some wonderful faith-based communities that helps us with laundry. So we have an actual laundromat, and this several of the faith-based community, they come together and provide coins and detergent for families if they need their clothes washed. We call it the laundry program. The Muscogee County, we also have McKinney-Vento for students who are experiencing homelessness. If you haven't had a chance to visit, we have a wonderful store here at our school district that provides school clothing as well as the umbrellas, and we do school supplies, book bags, we provide transportation, free lunch, free breakfast, so that we're making sure our students who are experiencing homelessness, because that's a challenge to get to school sometimes, that we're arming them with success with these supports. So upcoming initiatives, some of the things that we are looking at is working at one of the things that we have to focus on when it comes to chronically absent is having attendance review teams at the school as well as at the district. And these are just a few of the activities we're going to propose to support the schools. And I'll just highlight one here, and that's the 2x10, and that's relationship and trust building strategy, where a teacher or staff member or a custodial staff, someone who is a champion of the student in the school, spending 2 minutes per day for 10 days just talking with the student, building a rapport. That is just one way that research has said that students feel like they are known, they're seen, and they want to show up because they have a trusted adult that's checking up on them. So, and these are a few others that we are working on to address in our district to combat chronic absenteeism, because we understand you can't teach an empty seat. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions?
Ms. McCray.
I was just curious, as the mother of a high schooler, how do you track and kind of proportionate absenteeism when they're only gone for like like my child has a dental appointment tomorrow morning. I mean, that doesn't count as a full day out.
No, we actually, the attendance is taken by period.
Okay.
So it is possible for that student to be chronically absent in a course, a class, if they're out every single week or day in that one particular class, let's say first period, or checking out during last period. Mm-hmm. And so we do period attendance, and now we used to do it middle and high school, but we've moved the period attendance to elementary school as well.
That's good to hear, because I would think that would chalk up a lot of absent for high schoolers, so that's good. Thank you.
Ms. James.
You mentioned that you all were doing some analysis on why students were absent, and you mentioned something about an umbrella and things of that nature, but what is the number one reason why students are missing school?
That's a great question. It's kind of an umbrella of answers here. It's not necessarily one particular thing. It is, right. We hear from students and sometimes parents. If a parent has had a negative experience with school, that may deter them from having engagement or ensuring. We have some home situations that, whether it's an eviction or a parent who is asking their older children to stay home to care for the younger children, we're seeing that quite often. We also have, of course, illness is a reason for absences. And so it's kind of
it varies.
It does.
So let me ask this question. Have we looked at the data to see if there are certain trends in certain age groups
Yes.
or at certain schools? Because I think we're doing a lot of services and a lot of incentives, but until we pinpoint the number one reason where all the absences are coming from,
yes.
and until we're able to provide that family, because personally, I just feel like a mother doesn't keep a child at home just because. I feel like there are some underlying reasons, and if we can have either a parent liaison or someone at that school wrap their arms around that family and find out why, then that's the only way we're going to combat the problem. Because most of what you listed today, we've been doing that, and we still had 22%. Was it 22%?
22.5, yes.
What's the number?
22.5.
And that is the percentage of kids that missed over how many days?
18 or more.
18 or more days. And so we're trying to make a correlation between that and student achievement. And so my first comment would be, we probably need to dig a little deeper to find out where our major problem is, whether that's an age group or a certain school, and then provide those wraparound services. And then the second thing is that I do understand that you cannot teach an empty seat. And so absenteeism is a problem, but I don't want us to overlook that there may be some other factors that affected our test scores. And I want to make sure that we also do a presentation on how we're going to move forward to fix those issues as well. So the absenteeism we can fix by working with the community, working with the parents. But if there are other issues, what is the plan? And I'm posing this question, but not directly at you, because I know you work in a different area. But I would like for us, Dr. Lewis, to also have a discussion about what are some other issues that are keeping our students at this ability level, and how can we fix it? So, thank you so much. Your presentation was very thorough. And if you would provide us with, what is the rule about compulsory attendance? How many days? And what happens to the parent, sort of that process? You don't have to do it now, but if you can send, unless it's really short, but you can send it to us, or?
Yes, so
Okay.
at quickly, it's, I will also send it so that you have it, but at 5 is when, at 3 days is when a letter goes home from the school. At 5 is when the social worker intervenes to provide letters of encouragement, you know, trying to determine what's going on, to eliminate the barrier. Once they move on past the 5 is when we do a attendance agreement with the parents, pretty much like a contract stating that you must attend, and if your student is absent, again, we will proceed on with other interventions, and that could be MCAT, Muscogee County Attendance Panel, Truancy Intervention Program, or court. And so one of the consequences to the law is that there could be a fine that's imposed, a $100 fine. It can also be community service that's determined by the courts, as well as jail time. And that's, of course, the disposition and the determination is made by the judicial system.
Ms. Buckner.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. I want to. These laws that were imposed, how recent are we talking about?
Forever. I mean,
no. How recent have they been into effect?
They've always been in effect.
Okay,
yeah, compulsory. We've always addressed the compulsory attendance law in the state of Georgia under the OCGA code, and that's.
What about the sentencing?
That's always been attached to the compulsory.
Sounds like we're getting on that part.
Yes.
I want to move on to high school with attendance. Okay, let me get up quick. Want to move on to high school with attendance. Now, is this still in effect? That, well, just a minute, how many days can a student miss from a class? Well, is that still 15 days and they don't get a credit, or is that gone?
Well, we work with our students not to get a loss of credit. That was years ago, where it's called LC on your report card, loss of credit. That's why we have an amazing team of regional graduation coaches that work directly with the counselors to ensure that students do not lose credit.
Okay, is that still in effect though?
The loss of credit, no, we work to make sure the students are getting, and so we have credit recovery.
Yeah, is that still in effect?
No.
Okay, so surely we are working with them to get the credit, but what I want to say is, so that legislature, because that used to be like law, so that is no longer a law.
It was wasn't a law, it was a protocol that was put forth through the state of Georgia Department of Education. It has since changed, and now we are working with students. That's why we have credit recovery programs and alternative services to support our students. Our goal is to not award loss of credit, but to gain. So
it was a protocol, because when I was working, kids did not get credit if they lost 15 days.
Yes, that was the case.
So you can you can lose, a protocol can be just as strenuous as a law, because a protocol is just, what I thought by definition was something that you just followed. It was a protocol. It's something that we like to do, something that has been done, but it had no teeth in it. But at that time, when I was working, it was more than a protocol, it was a law. But now you're saying that is no longer a law. No
We
longer-
work with our students to give them.
Did you work with them then?
We work with students.
When it was before the protocol, have you always worked with students?
We always work with
So
students.
there's nothing different
Yes.
here, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
you know.
we always work with
It sound
students.
like we
We
just
have
work
not
with-
always had credit recovery.
Okay, the restoration. We have not always had credit recovery. Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you about your restorative practices. What were you doing, like,
Say that again.
well, that was one of my questions. So when you had your list, you named restorative practices.
Yes.
But you did not tell us any of the restorative practice at the beginning of that. So restorative, now you moved on into credit recovery where they can restore a credit by what? By taking a class or by
Yes.
coming to school early? Can you restore attendance? For example,
We
some
do,
schools
we are
can-
working with our, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we are working with our schools to have attendance recovery where students can have that instruction. It's not during the school day, that's, but it is a chance for them to recover their attendance, not necessarily for the chronically absent, but for the instructional piece. We also have credit recoveries through programs like Apex, and we have credit schools that do an amazing job with teachers working with their students to afford them alternatives to making up assignments and work. That's our goal, of course, in Muscogee County School District is to make sure that our students are receiving everything that's possible for full option graduation.
You might also, if I may also, you mentioned restorative practices, also that's a way of reducing the number of out-of-school suspensions. And so you can speak to that, that's what our Second Chance Works program does as far as that, so you might want to just elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, so restorative practices that I've mentioned on the screen was in relation to out-of-school suspension as an alternative for students and parents can either do restorative circles or where a parent can come to the school and receive curriculum along with their students so that they're not suspended. And of course, this is not for major offenses. And this is to make sure the students have an opportunity to still learn, but we have some accountability that's in place, and the parents come in and they learn alongside their students the curriculum to restore being in school and behavior and issues in terms of discipline.
But in the restorative, in that way, that's actually, it's something, it's a good teaching thing, but you don't get actually anything technically restored. Do you get any kind of academic restoration? Okay, it's like a prevention.
It's intervention. The restorative practice is intervention.
So what do they get? Do they get a credit, or do they get, like, is there any time, like, sometimes where I work, sometimes kids came early, got 2 hours of restorative day for attendance. So what are they getting for? I mean, it's a good thing to practice. It's a good
The
practice.
restorative is related to the discipline, right? So if they get suspended for a discipline issue, if they do the restorative, whatever,
Okay, that's what
meeting,
they get.
class,
Yes.
then it's.
That's what they get. They get, it's in lieu of suspension. I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna get to restored. Okay. All right, I understand.
Oh,
now.
you try, okay, so
It's
you're.
restorative in anything I was trying to see what they were gonna get. See, they restore classes, you can get restorative by taking a class on a computer, but.
But
and
they
that's
don't
academic.
use it that way. So this particular instance is used for discipline.
Y'all
So are you also talking about credit recovery maybe when you talk about classes, Ms. Buckner?
Yeah, they should be. Are you, we talking
But
about
they're calling
everything,
it,
Are
but
we
they're
talking
not.
about restorative for,
So
they're restoring? Okay,
So
go
credit recovery
Uh-huh.
is academics credits.
And
And
you
then
restore-
the
and it's
restorative practices, it's for behavior or discipline. So they're two separate things
Types
yes, they are
of
trying to restore.
Of restoration, okay.
Right, whether it's academics or making sure that they, if they're in lieu of a suspension, which forces that student to be out of school. We keep them in school and we provide some interventions in the school, but there's a curriculum that supports them, teaching them social emotional skills, accountability, and those things so that they understand. And then the restorative circles, if there is a situation of a disagreement between two students, we bring in the students in order to restore that relationship or to talk about where we go from here. And it's so that we don't have
conflict resolution.
Conflict, similar to conflict resolution.
And as you restore the relationship, the student is not getting suspended.
Correct.
Correct.
I'm trying to see what's being restored. Okay.
Correct. Also, you're talking about the protocol for the district. I do know that schools who are going to have the most intimate knowledge about their students' chronic absenteeism, they do something in addition to.
Yes, of course.
Because they're addressing those specific needs.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that I said that because the schools are not tied to the district protocol by itself.
Right.
They do really do a yeoman's job, and we can only do what we can do in addressing those specific family issues and students not coming to school. They're doing that case-by-case basis because they know their students and they know their families. And I just wanted, to make sure that I say that, that they're not just specifically doing that protocol at the district level.
No.
But,
I'm glad you said that.
to the question of still experiencing the chronic absenteeism, is the 20% the same 20%? Or is it varying?
It's varying.
Okay, so we might not ever catch up with that.
It's varying.
As people's family dynamics and situation change.
Yes, and so we are like I said, looking at we are trending down in a positive direction, and we just had a summit recently throughout the state of Georgia, and we are seeing some trends, and that's because we are targeting and really addressing not just attendance, unexcused absences, and that has been the focus for years, is looking at unexcused absences, because that's what we had a law to base things on. But now that the nation has gone to looking at chronic absenteeism, it's all hands on deck. And so it's understanding that we have to have some systems in place to address even the excused absences. We've talked about, and one of the initiatives you saw there was having a standardized number of parent notes throughout the district that will limit the number of just people writing notes for kids being out constantly, and because it's still impacting that student, and they could be a straight A student, but it's, like I said before, it's still impacting them socially. And so we are looking at out-of-school suspension a little closer as it relates to chronically absent. So that's why I wanted to really mention the misconceptions, is because oftentimes you hear chronically absent, you immediately go to kids not coming to school or students not coming to school and parents not sending in a notice to allow us to excuse it. But it's the whole kit and caboodle.
When I looked at your list of why kids were absent, I really I like the list of things, a list of reasons that you said, because in my opinion, and I have no data to put all, it's just in my experience as a worker. And I do like what Mrs. Green said about go to the school and ask those people and let them do their thing at the school, because they know what's going on with their school and with their students. And so I was saying, like, in your list, in that second column, you had unfair discipline results. You had that. And that was given a consideration because, in my opinion, and as I worked, I found that it was the family's attitude towards school that was the most major cause for absenteeism. They didn't like it, and the students felt like they couldn't see their attitude toward even education, couldn't see what it was going to do for them, and they couldn't see themselves as doing well. I couldn't convince, that's why I retired, I couldn't convince my students that they were smart. You know, some of the kids were smart, but they wouldn't even do anything, you know, and you just had to, teachers have to, you got to tell them they smart, you got to put them in the right attitude to learn, and then the parents, they love their children. All parents love their children. I'm not saying that they love their children, but the kids, the home situation where kids, the attitude toward the education, to me, look at, that's what to me is the whole basic of our, because everybody my parents were not formally educated, but they were big on education, you know, and so it was always education, education, education. And so I just think we ought to look at some of the things that's happening in the home. See, I know y'all have the group stuff, but I think like some of those things, like to make the parents, I don't know what we can do now, I'm just talking, you know, but I know, and I know everything in education, we try everything. Teachers try everything, schools try everything. And so that's why I'm saying, and they probably doing this type of stuff anyway. But if we can do that attitudes toward school, toward the parent, toward the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and making them think that what the school does is fair, is the right thing to do. I think that's all important.
Absolutely. I agree.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. All right.
District recognitions.
Good afternoon. I'm
Good
Kimberly
afternoon.
Wright, Director of Communications. There were no September board recognition submissions. However, we're going to hear from Mr. Corey Neal to present the Power We Award. And following Mr. Neal, Mr. Alan Harkness from the Chattahoochee Valley's Libraries Director, Mr. Alan, he's going to present the Summer Reading Awards.
Thank you.
Good evening. The September 2025 Power We Award winner is none other than Scott Turner, Regional Coordinator from Plant Services, and he shall come forth at this time. Give him a hand as he comes. And the submission goes as such. It is with great appreciation that I recommend Scott Turner for his outstanding service and dedication to the maintenance of our school. Scott consistently demonstrates an exceptional attention to detail, ensuring that every task, whether large or small, is completed with precision and care. His ability to notice and address potential issues before they become problems reflects both his expertise and his commitment to maintaining a safe, functional, and welcoming environment for our students and our staff. Scott's commitment to his work is evident in the pride he takes in assuring that the school is always in excellent condition. He approaches every responsibility with reliability and professionalism, consistently going above and beyond expectations. His quick response time to maintenance requests is particularly noteworthy. No matter the urgency or the complexity of the situation, Scott responds promptly and effectively, minimizing disruptions to the learning environment. Through his strong work ethic and dedication, Scott has proven himself to be an invaluable member of our school community. His contributions not only maintain the integrity of our facilities, but also enhance the overall atmosphere of our school. I wholeheartedly commend Scott Turner for his commitment, responsiveness, and detailed approach to his work, and therefore recommend him for this award. Once again, Scott Turner, give him a hand.
I'll make it short and sweet. I'm honored to receive this award tonight. Thank you very much.
That was an example of that timeliness. Thank you again. Congratulations. Any family, friends, supporters, you guys stand up. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all that you do. Is that the work family too? Thank you so much. Thank you all for everything that you do.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
This is the first time we've done this. I'm Alan Harkness. I'm the library director, Chattahoochee Valley Libraries. These are our Summer Reading Championship Awards. We have 2 different kind of awards, 3 schools for each award. We're going to start with Read Big. Those are the schools that had the highest participation signing up for summer reading, whether they did it through the app or through the paper. We gave them credit either way. Highest participation rate as a percentage of their student population. So these are the Read Big Awards. In 3rd place, we have Midland Academy. We're going to get in the middle. Come on, let's go in the middle. Midland Academy, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Are y'all taking pictures too? Come on up, come on up, come on up. You want to get a picture? All right. Thank y'all so much. All right. 2nd place, Lonnie Jackson Academy. Isn't this fun? All right. Wonderful. Thank y'all. In 1st place with our Read Big Award is Britt David Magnet Academy. Congratulations. Awesome. Thank you. Way to go. All right, so those were the Read Big Awards. These are the Read More Awards. These are the schools that had the highest year-over-year growth in participation in summer reading, whether it's on paper or in the app. Read More Awards. 3rd place was Forest Road Elementary. Congratulations. Thank y'all so much. All right, let's get in here. Awesome. Way to go. Thank y'all. 2nd place is Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School. Said they were going to be here tonight. All right, where's my region chief? Where's my region chief? All right, come on up, come on up. Thanks for standing in. Awesome. All right, thank you so much. And 1st place in our Read More Award is Brewer Elementary. Congratulations, way to go. go, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. And we don't have to tell y'all the community wins when we all read. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. That's a great initiative. Let's keep that going.
Mr. Harkness, I just want to say thank you again for all that you do to partner with us and really promote reading throughout our community. Our kids, our schools are much better because of it. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Next, we have our public agenda. We have one speaker, Mr. Steve Kelly. You make your way to the podium. All official meetings of the board shall be open to the press and public. However, the board may meet in executive session. Speakers' remarks should be directed to the board and shall be limited to 5 minutes. Citizens are encouraged to address items on the board agenda or to initiate presentations of issues appropriate for school board consideration. If an individual desires to speak, they may contact the superintendent's office to be placed on the agenda. The board meeting or work session is not the appropriate place to address either criticisms of particular employees or individual parent complaints. When such complaints have not been first addressed, brought to the attention to the appropriate administrator for resolution. Citizens are encouraged to follow the normal channels to address individual parent complaints or problems. The following have requested an audience with the Board of Education. Mr. Steve Kelly, thank you for joining us. You have 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I want to address an issue that may appear logistical at first glance, but in truth carries academic, financial, and community-wide consequences. That issue is late school transportation. When buses are late, students are late. And when students are late, learning suffers. A 15-minute delay each day may not sound like much, but across the 180-day school year in Columbus, that equals 45 total hours of instruction lost per student, almost an entire week of class time. That is not just a scheduling inconvenience, it is also an erosion of educational opportunity. Research already shows that tardiness and lost instructional time correlate with low test scores and reduced classroom engagement. On the other hand, when schools resolve these issues, disruptions decrease and grades and performance improve. We know this can be done because other districts have already demonstrated measurable improvements. As a candidate for mayor, I've spent a great deal of time out in the community listening to families, teachers, and bus drivers. Over and over again, this transportation issue has been raised as one of the most persistent concerns. Many parents tell me they feel their voices are not being heard, that their daily struggles with late buses, disrupted work schedules, and stressed children are overlooked in policy discussions. One parent took their child to school because the bus was not there at the scheduled time. They then sat and watched when the buses arrived. There was a total of 13 buses that showed up late, ranging from 4 minutes to 44 minutes after the first class started at 8:45. The same parent said that one day their child's bus did not pick up their child until 9:24. That means that child was picked up 39 minutes after the first class started. This cost extends beyond academics. Parents miss work, employers lose productivity, and bus drivers face schedules they know are unmanageable. Teachers are forced to restart lessons or adjust instruction downward. The strain ripples across households and classrooms. There are viable solutions. First, we should look at strategic partnerships with our public transit system, Metra. Older students, particularly in high school, can safely use existing Metra routes when coordinated with the district. This could relieve pressure on our school bus fleet and ensure more consistent service. Second, I'm not sure if a comprehensive analysis has been conducted to look at the possibility of consolidating high school bus stops in neighborhoods where safety permits. Centralized pickup locations can reduce route times significantly without jeopardizing student access and allow buses to run more reliably. Third, we must revisit our decision on bus procurement. To be clear, Muscogee County did not replace any of its fleet, even though we were eligible for federal grants that would have provided electric buses at no cost to the district. These grants were declined, reportedly due to concerns about range limitations and charging time. While those concerns are not without merit, the long-term economics of electric buses, lower fuel, lower maintenance, and fewer moving parts could be at least $7,000 a year, which means 10 buses would save us $70,000 a year, and that money could be used towards increasing bus drivers' wages. I would like to see us move beyond boardroom discussions and engage the community directly. I propose convening a public forum with parents, teachers, bus drivers, students, and transit officials can openly discuss these issues and help shape solutions. Community buy-in is essential if we want to change to be effective and lasting. This is about more than buses and schedules. It is about whether we value every instructional minute, whether we make fiscally responsible choices, and whether we treat transportation as an integral part of our education rather than an afterthought. Every day we delay action, our students lose more instructional time, and we owe them better. Thank you for your time and your consideration for our kids, for our future, for Columbus.
Thank you so very much. Now, the moment we've been waiting for, we are 23 minutes past kickoff. The action agenda. We have one item, board members, for action, and then our consent agenda. Item number 1 is the revised policy IFBG, the Internet Acceptable Use. Motion by Ms. Frey, second by Ms. Tillery. Are there any questions? Okay, we're ready to vote now. Oh, we do have a question. Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, we're asking to waive this for the 30-day period that we typically let it sit. What is the reason for the rush to waive the 30 days? Do we have a reason for waiving the 30 days? Can you share that with us?
There we go. Yes, we do. We have a deadline to submit this approved policy on October 1st. Well, actually a deadline by October 15th. Your deadline to approve the policy is October 1st. We have to submit that to Godot as a part of our annual technology audit. So that's what's driving the acceleration on it.
Okay, and that deadline came from the Department of Education or from the state of Georgia?
State of Georgia.
Okay.
It's a law that they basically passed.
Enacted,
Yes.
okay. Sounds good. All right, thank you so much for that information. I appreciate it.
Ready to vote? You ready to vote? It's affirmative for Ms. Chambers. All right, that item passes. The consent agenda. All right, it was a motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Ms. Buckner. We need a motion and second, so then we'll take a question. So second by Ms. Buckner, and your question, ma'am?
Two things, and it's just real brief because you already made your announcement. On 12G and 14A. And 12G is about the tool for the giftedness, the gifted screening. And,
The online assessment?
Yeah, the online assessment. She's not here. I'll ask her. Anybody know what? I just want to ask, what was it like? And I can call her. Was it what? Ms. Holt can tell you. Ms. Holt, you know about the screening?
The screen?
Yeah, I was just going to ask what it was like. Was it like
The online assessment. You said G like Georgia.
It's a. She said what? It's
Okay.
like a screening test. The new thing that she was talking about, and I wanted to know, is it academic or does do math? Does do Huh? I think, is that what it is? Yes. Okay. Okay.
Good evening. Good evening, Christine Hall, Executive Director of Curriculum Instruction. The COGAT is a nationally normed assessment that we use to test mental ability. And it's a test that has multiple different parts to test mental ability and cognitive ability in several different areas. So literary, mathematical, thinking, and cognitive ability. It is not,
Cognitive.
right, it's not an achievement level test
Does
whatsoever.
it yield like a score of like 70, 90, 100?
So the norms for that, the scale norms for that, I'd have to get you those. And Dr. Rowe's not able to be with us tonight, but I can have her send you the norms for the
Okay, so,
COGAT.
but it's cognitive, so,
It's cognitive abilities. Mhm. Yeah.
all right, thanks. And the other thing was 14A, that's that, the
Raptor
volunteer.
Technologies volunteer screening.
Yeah. 14A, let's see what that is. Custodial. Yeah. Yeah, that was, now what is that?
That's from the Department of Risk Management.
Yeah, approved as request for technology for volunteer
Go ahead and hit you.
application background for level 2 screening at Muscogee County.
It's
Now-
14A.
Screening for volunteers.
Yes, I'm ready to say, you're asking what it is?
Yeah.
Raptor
and
Technologies.
What's level 2, because that sounds like it's different from.
Background
we
level
have
2
is-
screening at MCSD schools.
For the volunteers.
So yes, so we have Raptor in each of the schools, and we've upgraded so that they can background check volunteers, but it was not included, the actual number of volunteers that we could estimate was not included in the original
Just
quote.
doing a cost thing here. That's what you're doing with this.
That's what we're doing with this, yes.
But I wanted to see, level 2 screening, is that like a regular, what everybody else gets, employees?
It's just a standard check to make sure that they are not, they don't have anything on their record
Yeah,
for
is
that
it the
would.
same thing like regular full-time employees get? I'm just asking.
No, it's not,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
not completely like that.
Okay, that's what I was asking, what does that level 2 mean? That was just for my information. And then I do like y'all said, didn't y'all say y'all pay for, they don't have to pay for it?
No, that's
right.
why we're doing this, is
Yeah, that's
because
what I
we
said.
agreed
Yeah.
that they
That
should
was
not have to
good.
pay for it.
I was just trying to see what was it like
Gotcha.
a real, but, I mean, it's
I
good. It's good.
apologize,
It's
I was
pretty-
having
it's pretty
trouble
good,
hearing
but,
you.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
I need a motion to excuse Miss. No, I'm sorry, we need to vote on this first. All right, all in favor, we can vote now. Affirmative for Chambers. And McCray. Oh, and Tillery? Okay. Okay, hand vote. Everybody voting in favor, so they'll know. It had came up earlier, it may have timed out. All right, that passes. I need a motion to excuse Ms. Jackson by Ms. Chambers, second by Ms. Tillery. Hand vote, all in favor to excuse Ms. Jackson. All right, that passes. Dr. Lewis, you have anything? Yeah. All right, we're going to, I need a motion to go into executive session for a legal matter and a personnel matter. All in favor? Wave. Good night. All right, that passes. We're in executive session. Thank you.
In the heart of the city where dreams take flight, every student a star shining bright tonight. Known and valued, we rise as one. Our journey together has just begun. Creating we, a legacy, a place where all can truly see. Inspire, equip, achieve, believe, unlimited potential will never leave. From every hall to the open skies, we carry the hope in our teachers' eyes. Beacon of light, excellence in view. A community strong, forever true. We are the voices, we are the flame. Together united, we change the game. Create